Hello and welcome back to Inquisitor Martyr. Last time we kept going with intel missions. Let's look, what can we do for, well, I mean, we can do almost any Void Crusade. Actually, we can do any Void Crusade. That is tempting. We might do one later. I don't know, I'll have to figure out which one I want to do. Maybe Zircon, because I've never done one, I think. Or Ebony. That might be fun. Who knows? We'll sort it out. But this time around, we're going to do intel. I still got stuff to level. Right now, the Purity Seal of Endurance might be our best Purity Seal. But we got to knock some stuff out on the Seal of Calm. We have this new neural implant. We're going to test it out. Boiling, I think that's going to be heat damage. So we might have some fun. Kill Dark Eldar. Okay, that's very specific. But it's an option. It might be good. We might just go back to Oppression because it's just, hey, do you want to crit people? Armor, still got to get a little bit. In terms of quality, it's better than our Relic, or our Morality armor. Sadly, it's already outclassed, but kind of the curse of still leveling. Outside of that, yeah, those are our big things to level at the moment. Hopefully we get something that doesn't suck. Okay, those are completely tolerable. I can work with both of those penalties without any issue. Warp damage, okay, it's a little annoying, but it's within reason. Undamaged enemies gain HP. Cool, don't care. And movement speed. Okay, this is all doable. It is Eldar. That's going to be a tad annoying, but we can work with it. So last week was the Game Awards, and I don't know how I feel. I genuinely don't know, like, we did get some decent announcements. Was it everything I wanted? God, no. Not even close. It was kind of butt cheeks for a lot of it. I'll be real. It just didn't offer a ton of cool stuff. Most of it, for a good chunk of it, I'm just sitting there stream muted going, dear God, please give me something to care about. The fact that we had a few good things interspersed amongst a bunch of garbage made that the longest 3 hours I've experienced in a long time. Also, Hideo Kojima coming out and being pretentious as always. I know some people love that guy. I just can't get behind his stuff. I think he needs someone to just kind of spray him with a squirt ball and be like, no, bad, don't do that, that's stupid, and rein him in, because otherwise he just kind of does stuff. Like, he brought Jordan Peele out and I'm just like, oh great, a pretentious director and a pretentious game designer. How riveting. But outside of just me griping about stuff, we did get some cool stuff and some good news. Space Marine got its release date, September 9th, which I'm not happy. It's nice we have a set in stone date. Will it get delayed again? Maybe. The set in stone dates mean nothing. That is the sad reality. You can say it'll come out and it can get delayed again and again and again. But it's nice to have a date. The first Descendant got a window of summer. Little bummed because they were originally, during that last beta, they're like, oh yeah, don't worry guys, this is going to come out between like now and February. But I guess they got enough feedback that they said, oh, we need way more time on this. Which is good, because I remember seeing a thing where they said, hey, we see the feedback, the open world areas need more content to them, which is true. They were like 3 minor quest things, kind of like the in Destiny you could pick up these little patrols, and it was essentially like 3 patrols, and then the game just goes, okay, get out of here, come back for like a main quest where you run through this other part of the area, fight a boss, and then never return. So getting that fixed up and changed, good. I'm all for it. Hope that means more of the big boss things get added, because they were cool and I want more. Even though there's already a good amount, it's always the desire of, well, now I want more. These are cool. We were shown, what was it? Jurassic Park Survival? Oh, Jurassic Park Survive, I have it written down. And it made me think of like Dino Crisis, which I thought, oh cool, it's not Dino Crisis, it's kind of like discount Dino Crisis, but still cool. I'm all for it. Anything that's a little different than what we're getting. So I hope it's good. Do I have faith in it being good? I don't have a reason not to have faith in it. So I will be cautiously optimistic. I think that's the best way to view this. The new Budokai Tenkaichi game is called Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Completely zoned out on the release date, if we even got one. It looks okay. It's the curse of it's more trailer than game right now, so I can't really sit here and fire up the hype train because I have nothing to really go off. There was new Monster Hunter, but it is not the mystery Capcom game coming out by like March. They didn't say what that was. At least I didn't see it. But the new Monster Hunter is Monster Hunter Wilds, and it's going to be for all consoles and stuff, so kind of Monster Hunter World 2, which I'm glad for. I wanted a new Monster Hunter World. Especially because, like, I tried that Monster Hunter Now, I think it is, the mobile game version, and even on, like, a brand new tablet, that game stutters and lags. It is so horribly optimized, it's not even funny. And hopefully this will bring people back to play Monster Hunter World again, so I might fire that up and do some runs. Whether or not you guys want to see it, let me know. If you don't want to see it, I'll just play it for myself. I have fun, so that's all that matters, really. And then there's that. Oh, the No Man's Sky people, Hello Games, they're making a new game, which we kind of knew they were making a new game. We heard the rumblings of it, called Light No Fire, and it's an open world procedurally generated fantasy game. So Sean Murray came out and he's like, yeah, instead of making a bunch of worlds, we're just gonna make one, and it's gonna be really big and stuff. And I thought, oh, okay, I have faith in it. I know the launch for No Man's Sky was rough, people weren't happy, but at least this time around they have all the systems in play already to make a decent game. They just need depth, because they already have the multiplayer, they already have the base building stuff, they have a lot already there they can just lift. They just need to make everything else good, because I'd play that. I have a lot of respect for Hello Games because they've actually stuck around with their game and they continued to support No Man's Sky. They could have abandoned this game years and years ago, but they just kept rolling with it. And with how a lot of studios are, it's impressive. Oh, Skull and Bones finally got a release date in February. I don't really have much to say because they've kept delaying that game that I don't even believe that that's the release date. It's like, why should I believe it this time? What have you done different that now the game's gonna come out? I hope it's good. I didn't play the beta because it was really weird and access to it was wonky. Will I pick it up? Probably not. Just because I didn't really get to see much, didn't get my hands on it. And they've changed it so many times with each big announcement. The game has gone from one thing to another, and I'm just sitting here going, so what is this? Is this just Sea of Thieves but for everybody? Is this something more? I kinda need something here to work with. Because I think it'd be cool if you could get, your ship and then your crew is a different kind of gear piece that affects quality of how things are, your reload speed, whatnot. It would kind of remind me of... This is very specific, but Pirates of the Spanish Main was a collectible, miniatures game, except you had these thicker, plasticky cards that you'd pop out all the parts and build the ship. But that game eventually had, you could get giant octopus, you could get a dragon, you could get zombie crewmen and all this stuff. It was a cool idea. So it'd be interesting to see if someone kind of lifted ideas from that. But we'll have to wait and see. Sega did an announcement. Very minimal announcement, I would say. It was more or less them just coming out and being like, yeah, we're doing stuff, guys, don't worry. Which, yeah, you kind of need to after how many Sega products recently have gone belly up. But they are planning to revive Golden Axe, Shinobi, Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi. Did I say Streets of Rage? I can't even remember. I'm just focused on not dying to this fire prism and trying to think. But they listed off a bunch of stuff from the Dreamcast. And on one hand, I'm like, cool, we're kind of going back to the Dreamcast era. I really wanted a new Jet Set Radio for years. That's why games like Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, I think, kind of came out, is there was this desire for that art style and that kind of game, and no one was meeting the demand. My concern is when it comes to, Crazy Taxi, what do you do? Because Crazy Taxi and Crazy Taxi 2 worked for the time because you could get away with going, hey, you have 2 minutes, make as much money in your run. Essentially an arcade game. It's like old Tony Hawk games where you had 2 minutes to do all the challenges, or you'd have to redo it and try to get other challenges done. It worked for the time, but now it feels very dated. And so, what do? Do you just make a bigger environment? Do you have a police system so that the cops can chase you if you start doing wild stuff? And you have to shake off the cops while trying to deliver people places? Also, the fact of taxis. I mean, you can't really do crazy Uber, but just the idea feels kind of dated now, over 20 years later. But who knows, maybe they'll pull something wild out, or maybe it's just going to be hey, we remastered these games. Would I be disappointed in a remaster? Yeah, honestly, I'd be kind of disappointed just because this generation for consoles has been just remasters out the ass, and I'm tired of it. It feels like no one's willing to take a risk and try anything new, it's just rehashing. But yeah, that was everything I had written down for Game Awards. A lot of indie games. I don't like dunking on indie games because I get it. Hell, that's kind of where I've been stuck for a long time. And it's where a lot of people are. And there's nothing wrong with indie games. It's just a lot of them, they shift away from like, hey, we're trying to make a game that sells, and it becomes more of like, hey, I want some avant-garde piece, and then these people are going to get shocked when it doesn't sell super well. Yeah, it might create a niche group who love it, but if you're trying for commercial success, you can still do a lot. You just have to not go for complete art house. Oh, I just remembered another thing was, speaking of revivals and remakes, there's a new, like, Trials of Mana game, but it's not Trials of Mana, it's something of Mana. I don't remember, but Square Enix is reviving it, which I'm not shocked. The fact that they're doing that, I'm amazed it took them this long. After selling all their Western studios, they kind of shot themselves in the foot, and I think they've kind of realized, oh, we don't make that much anymore in reality. We've been spending all our time on Final Fantasy VII. We kind of need other games. And the people we kind of relied on to make other stuff are gone. So, time to fire up the old Memba berries and grab something from the past and make it. Bunch of people were mad because Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year. Bunch of Sony people just belligerently butt frustrated. Like, oh, why didn't Spider-Man win? Dude, Spider-Man was mid. I hate to break it to people, but their heavily story-driven Arkham Combat game that hasn't changed since the past two games didn't do anything to merit being a Game of the Year. Personally, I thought it was boring. Did Baldur's Gate deserve Game of the Year? Yeah, it really did. Yeah, Act 3 is kind of butt cheeks and really buggy, but if you go past that, it revived CRPGs. Yeah, Owlcat's been making the Pathfinder games and they're doing pretty well, but in terms of mainstream attention, I definitely think they did a good job reviving them. That said, is part of that due to kind of the stunt advertising of like, hey, you can get railed by a bear? Yeah, I'm gonna say it, yeah, that probably was a part of it. That generated so much attention that it got people who weren't paying attention to look at this game and be like, yo, what the hell? But it deserved it. It deserved Game of the Year. Hopefully, it inspires studios to actually do RPG elements in their games again. I do have to laugh, though. Just the fact that BioWare has been stripping out RPG elements for years from their games. And if you don't know this, BioWare made Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. So to see Baldur's Gate 3 made by Larian come out and dunk on everyone, you have to sit there and be like, oh god, that was a... BioWare has to be just punching air right now. That and Christopher Judge, the voice of Kratos, he came out and made a joke saying like, oh yeah, I know my speech was longer than the last Call of Duty campaign. And apparently the COD devs got real angry about that. And I'm like, it was a joke, come on. I get it. The Sledgehammer guys really didn't have a lot of control. They got forced to do a full campaign. But it's like, at times like that, you just gotta kind of go, haha, yeah. Wasn't that great, our bad. And just roll with it. If you can't laugh at yourself, there's a problem. Okay, let's see, we got... Actually, do we have space? Yeah, we got space. We'll just mulch everything and then go through gear later. Oh, this is one of those missions. So we're just gonna do, like... that. We'll edge into challenges and see what we can get away with. We'll remove that one. Oh, that just gives movement speed. Oh, I don't care then. This might suck, but we'll see how it goes. Arguably, though, the funniest part with the Game Awards, if you watched when the camera would pan to the audience when award winners would come up on stage, they had guards standing at the end of every aisle leading up to the stage so no one could like sneak up behind so you can have the Bill Clinton guy show up again. But what's funny is afterwards I went on to Twitter, I'm like, oh, let's see what's going on. Let's see who's butthurt about what and see if I missed any awards by just, or any game announcements by just zoning out half the time. And what happened was that guy, Martyr Evan, I think his name is, he posted a picture. They got him for trespassing for showing up this year. And I had to laugh. Because I was just like, damn, they were gunning for him. I think part of the problem was during Summer Games Fest, that one numbnuts, who's just some other random dude who was trying to copy him, tried to get up on stage and said the stuff, but he like fumbled it and looked like a numbnuts while doing it. When if he were to be smart, he should have waited and maybe tried in a year or two, where yeah, you don't have the immediate memory, but you also don't have the security. Now there's security because it's happened twice in a single year. But what I think the guy should do, Martin, what he should do this next time, is he needs to go in like a morph suit, or he needs to dress up a certain way and have a bunch of people also dress the exact same way, have the hairstyle the same, everything. And this way they have to deal with a bunch of doppelgangers. It's honestly the funnest part of this whole like Game Awards thing. Cause like I don't care about the awards. To me, it's like the Academy Awards, it's like the Oscars, the Grammys. It's a bunch of people going up, just, I said it before, they're just kind of circle jerking. Who cares? It's not like these awards are going to the actual staff. It's not going to the programmers. It's not going to the ground level guys. It's going to the top people who, yeah, they had some say in how this game was made. They might be a designer. But a lot of times, it's just, it's hobnobbing. It's a bunch of celebrities. Like, they had Matthew McConaughey there for some game he's in. And I'm just like, I don't care. This kind of stuff is stupid. Actually, that reminds me, his game is made by like some ex-BioWare devs and stuff. Do I remember the name of it? God, no. I just remember it looks like a blend of like Destiny, Warframe, and it's just like every kind of sci-fi looter shooter we've had for a while just fused into an amalgam. So I was like, it's okay, but I'm not exactly sitting here going, oh man, I need this. There was also a couple cyberpunk games, not like Cyberpunk 2077 branded kind of deals, but like, this game is the cyberpunk setting. And I gotta say, for the love of God, people need to stop doing it. Because everybody does this like, oh, I watched like one Appleseed movie and some Ghost in the Shell. Just do some Neo-Tokyo type beat, and that's our setting. And every time, it's so soulless. At least, like, Mike Pondsmith's cyberpunk stuff, Cyberpunk 2077, Cyberpunk 2020, Cyberpunk Red, all that, there's soul behind it. There is an actual setting with meaning, and there is work put behind it. It's not just, yep, Neo-Tokyo, moving on. Because I hate that. It's so bland. If you're going for that stereotypical design, sure. But I don't think they're intentionally kind of playing into that. It's just what it pans out to be. One of them was like some cyberpunky extraction shooter, which instantly reminded me of Off the Grid. That one cyberpunk NFT extraction shooter that everybody forgot existed. That was supposed to come out like this month, and I've heard nothing about it, so I think it's not coming. I just remember like seeing that and I was like, oh my god, again with Cyberpunk. It's... I get it. This stuff is years in the making. But sometimes it is really tedious when one game succeeds somewhere, and so everyone is turning around going, oh, we need to do this now. No. Just because a setting worked once does not mean it'll work every time. Also felt like McConaughey and that Anthony Mackie, they're trying to do... Oh, and Simu Liu, because he does the voice for one of the guys in Stormgate. The... not... Command and Conquer game. That's essentially a spiritual successor to Command and Conquer. But they're all trying to do like their kind of Keanu, you're breathtaking moment. And it's like, look, that has to happen organically. You can't just come out and say some shit and expect it to work. You gotta do interviews, you gotta build up an appreciation. Because, like, I like Anthony Mackie. I started watching Twisted Metal, and that show's actually pretty funny, and I was surprised how they incorporated characters from the game. It's actually impressive. And I like Samoa Joe. Even though he doesn't do the voice work, his physical work as Sweet Tooth is good. But it's like, you gotta earn your breathtaking moment. That is something you gain out of effort. It's not just walk on stage, say something, and everybody loves you. You might want it that way. You might be getting paid to try to pull that as advertising. But it's got to be organic. Too many attempts at stuff like that end up falling flat or even harming because it comes off as desperate. Alright, now let's go through the loot and see if anything is even worth using. Also, we can check our gear. Oh, that is a complete waste. Cool. So we're gonna dump that instantly. Because warp heat decrease on, or +2 to warp heat decrease / hit values of all psyker weapon skills. This is not a psyker, so you go into garbage, your 4 stat, your 4 stat, your 4 stat, your 5 stat. Chance to trigger T-Bolt of Authority on hit when you have an energy shield active. Useful. But chance to burn on heat critical hit is real good. And poison skill hit, I have no value on that. If it gave me shields, that would have been better, but I kinda need max energy shields. That was it, wow. Thought we got more. Oh well. But that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button, it helps out the channel a lot, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.